The flickering fluorescent lights overhead cast an eerie glow as I stepped into the dimly lit medical store. The air was heavy with the smell of antiseptic and a strange metallic undertone. The usual hum of activity that filled the store during the day had given way to an unsettling stillness that sent a shiver down my spine. I approached the counter, the polished surface marred by countless scratches and stains. A small brass bell sat on the edge, its surface tarnished with age. I hesitated for a moment before giving it a tentative ring, the sound echoing through the empty aisles. "Be with you in a moment," a voice called from the back. It was a strained, almost raspy voice that sent a chill down my spine. I shifted uncomfortably, my gaze drifting to the rows of shelves that held an array of medical supplies, bandages, pills, ointments, and an assortment of mysterious vials. As I waited, I let my eyes wander, drawn to a peculiar display at the far end of the store. It was an antique-looking cabinet, its glass doors clouded with age. Inside, an assortment of old medical instruments lay haphazardly, their gleaming metal surfaces catching the dim light. My curiosity got the better of me, and I stepped closer, my fingers tracing the cold glass. The instruments were strange, archaic contraptions that seemed more suited to a medieval torture chamber than a modern medical store. A shudder ran through me as I studied the cruel-looking tools, bone saws, bloodletting devices, and unnervingly sharp scalpels. The sight sent a wave of unease through me, and I quickly turned away, my heart pounding. "Can I help you with something?" The voice jolted me from my thoughts, and I turned to find the storekeeper standing behind the counter. His gaunt face was etched with lines of weariness, and his eyes held a distant, almost haunted look. His lab coat was stained and frayed, and a worn name tag read Dr. Alistair. "I'm just browsing, thank you," I managed to stammer, my unease growing with each passing second. His gaze seemed to linger on me for a moment longer than necessary, sending a shiver down my spine. "Very well," he replied, his voice a mere whisper. He turned and shuffled away, disappearing into the depths of the store. I watched him go, a knot of apprehension forming in my stomach. Something about the whole scene felt off, as if I had stumbled upon a place where the veil between the mundane and the macabre was paper thin. I tore my gaze away from the receding figure of Dr. Alistair and decided to explore the store further. The aisles seemed to stretch endlessly, each one lined with shelves that held an increasingly bizarre assortment of medical supplies. Bottles filled with ominous-looking liquids, jars containing unidentifiable powders, and strange devices with intricate dials and levers lined the shelves. A soft creaking noise caught my attention, and I turned to see a curtain swing gently at the entrance of the back room. It was as if the curtain had been disturbed by a sudden gust of wind, but there was no wind in the stuffy, stagnant air of the store. Curiosity piqued. I cautiously approached the curtain, my heart racing. With a deep breath, I reached out and pulled the curtain aside, revealing a dimly lit chamber beyond. My breath caught in my throat as I took in the sight before me. Rows of shelves lined with glass jars, each containing a grotesque specimen. Deformed organs, misshapen limbs, and strange growths floated in formaldehyde, their airy glow casting twisted shadows on the walls. My stomach churned, and a wave of nausea washed over me. I stumbled back, my mind reeling in disbelief. What kind of place was this? What dark secrets lay hidden within the walls of this seemingly innocent medical store? Before I could gather my wits, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned to find Dr. Alistair standing there, his eyes fixed on me with an unsettling intensity. "Ah, I see you have discovered my collection," he murmured, his voice sending a chill down my spine. I couldn't tear my gaze away from his, the weight of his stare holding me captive. "You see, I have a special interest in the anomalies of the human body," he continued, his lips curling into a chilling smile. "Would you like to donate to my collection?" With the surge of adrenaline, I turned and fled the store, the echoes of his words ringing in my ears. The chilling encounter haunted my dreams of nights on end, a reminder that even the most ordinary places can harbor the darkest of secrets. And as I walked past the medical store during the day, its fluorescent lights buzzing with life, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had narrowly escaped something far more sinister than I could have ever imagined.